I see you looking at me through that glass electronic eye. Ha! You're spying on my practice session. That's okay. Appreciate the click. I'm back, Robert Lindsay Nathan, aka Mammoth and my Texas friends, and welcome again to another episode of Tramping with Guitar and Dog. Still looking for that dog. I figure the litter that I'm going to get the dog from was probably born today or yesterday or tomorrow, because it takes about 10 weeks before they're weaned. I think I'll be back in Texas in 10 weeks and I'll be hard looking then. So you know anybody that's got a golden retriever, a bunch of puppies here that's going to be here soon, litter of puppies, let me know. I'll check it out. That little ditty I was playing is a intro that I'm working on for us. Another song that's hopefully going to go on my 4th album. And when I get back to Texas, I'm going to see about getting some studio time actually before I get back. But that'll be recorded. And I'm playing the guitar I showed you in episode 1. I just, I was thinking I didn't give you any close-up, so here's a close-up of the headstock. I mean, nothing real special about it. Standard tuning gear. I've got the guitar I bought in Paracho has these tuning knobs that are black, which are really, really cool. But this is a standard Yamaha headstock. Notice that there's only one marker, as with most classical guitars, on the fretboard. One position marker. I mean, I guess when you get to the point of playing classical guitar, you're supposed to know enough that you don't need markers, I guess. I don't know. But simplicity is the thing with the classical guitars. I mean, they're just very plain, very simple. Some really nice grain patterns on the neck too, by the way. The back is oh, damn it, what'd I do? Book matched, as is the top. I think that's spruce. It may be cedar, although it's a little blonde to be cedar. Also the finish, notice here's a close-up of the electronics, just standard stuff, that you get on a lot of acoustic guitars nowadays if you get them electrified. There's where your battery goes, right there. And oh, I see what I did. This thing keeps popping out. This is the lens. I guess I'm gonna have to silicone it in. It's the lens for the tuner screen. So I was gonna buy another one of these. You can get this unit for $15 on Amazon. I ordered it. I was gonna have it shipped to Mexico, but it was taking so long I canceled the order. But that's where that little doodad goes, is right there. It keeps popping out. I may have to silicone it in or something. Oh, maybe that's what it was. It wasn't in there good. So anyway, that's the guitar. But this episode, what I want to do is I made a couple of clips of things that have to do with food when you're tramping. So one of the clips that I made was on grocery shopping. You know how I go grocery shopping, because I do it on foot. I don't call a cab to come get me and go to the grocery store. It's, you know, a quarter of a mile away, which isn't that big of a hike, but you know, a lot of people would get a cab to do that. I just do it because I need the exercise. And I can put about everything I need, including a 12-pack of beer in my backpack. The other part of the episode, I think, the other clip that I did has to do with eating cheap, eating on the cheap. You can almost get a meal down to $1 here in Mexico if you're really frugal. In that clip, I'll cover how to do that. And then there's another clip that I did where I'm taking the bus to my favorite restaurant here in town, which is about a mile away. I'll take it down the Costera. So I have to walk to the Costera, which is about a quarter of a mile, but then I get on the bus, it's like only 8 pesos. And I got to tell you, riding the bus on the Costera, especially if you don't have a seat, is a bit like surfing, because they're weaving in and out of the traffic. You got to keep your center of gravity low, like when you're surfing, and you got to hold on to something. Luckily, when I went down to my friend's cookout at this restaurant, I had a seat, and I was able to get some good film of what it kind of gives you a sense of the experience of riding the bus. 8 pesos, best deal in town. It's always an adventure. Every bus is different. They're dressed. They're like, you know, at night it's like getting on getting in the disco scene of the 1980s. You know, they got that music pumping and the lights going and blaring, everything's blaring, and they'll even, usually they'll have a guy helping them to get customers in to, hey, we're having a party on the bus. I mean, it's crazy stuff. So the other thing, so I wanted to show you a few of the things I usually carry when I'm on the road that have to do with food. One is this knife that I put in my shaving kit. Well, it's not a knife actually. It's got a knife on it, but it's got a bottle opener and more importantly, a corkscrew, because sometimes you go and you got to go to an Airbnb or a hotel, you don't have a corkscrew, you're SOL. So this is kind of handy to have if you don't have a Swiss Army knife that's got one on it. There's the blade. This was cheap too. I mean, a couple of bucks. And I think I bought it in Mexico when I was working in Oberon. Another thing I have on my keychain, another bottle opener, standby, because you might be out in the town, and I don't carry this other thing with me, but I do carry this. This one was given to me, I think, as one of those promotional favors at a bar, probably. The other thing I keep on my keychain, among several USB sticks, is I've got a whistle. This has nothing to do with eating, and then I've got this little, this is a can opener, an Army can opener. You guys have seen those. They're cheap. You can get them on Amazon for, I don't know, $1, maybe less. They're handy to have if you're in a hotel room and you want to make some chicken soup or something. That's another thing I need to talk about is heating things up. But and you want to add, you can get a sack of ramen, and add a can of chicken to it. It's a pretty good meal actually, with some spices. This little tool is invaluable. Now you can open it up with a knife, okay, no doubt about it. I mean, you can open up a can with a knife, but this other deal is a little bit more practical. I mentioned the knife thing, and I think my introductory video, and in Mexico it's supposedly illegal to carry a knife. Well, here's the one that I put in my check-on luggage, And you know, it hasn't been confiscated yet. This is a cheap $6, $7 knife, I think, that I got off of Amazon. I got 2 of them, and I think it's made by Smith and Wesson. I mean, I didn't know they got into knives, but it makes sense. You know, you can actually open it with one hand. It needs cleaning, otherwise it would pop all the way open. But you know, there it is. It's got a kind of a at this end. It's got a little hook where you can maybe open it. Well, you can't open a bottle. I have. It takes a little finagling. I don't know if that's what it's for, but I use it for it. And it's got a little flat tip there that you can use as a screwdriver. Then if you want to put it on your belt, it's got a belt clip. I don't ever do that. I keep it in my pocket, obviously, because you don't want to have it seen down here in Mexico. Because even though I could walk down the street with a machete on my belt, but not this. So, although tourists probably could get away with it, I mean, they kind of turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff for tourists. The other thing I like to carry is a couple of packs of oatmeal, because you never know when you get to a hotel. You know, you don't have, or a Airbnb the next morning, you may get in late, you don't have time to go out and go grocery shopping, so you want breakfast. So these guys are pretty nice to have. Now you can get these are more expensive than just buying a big box of oats. If you want to do that and put them in a baggie, that's pretty cool too. I mean, it'd be a lot cheaper. This was convenient, you know. And what I usually do is, if I have fruit, one of these will do. If I don't, 2 of them. So I'll usually do one of these with a banana if I got a banana. If I don't, I use you can get these dried fruit is pretty common down here in Mexico. You can find it at Walmart usually. These are blueberries, but raisins is what I use most of the time, although I had a craving for blueberries, so I got these a while back. Another thing that I carry is instant coffee. Same thing if you're getting into Airbnb late at night. You don't have time to go shopping, you want coffee the next morning, the host doesn't have coffee, this'll do you right here. I know it's instant, but you know, we're tramping here, right? So another thing I carry, you can actually find this in Mexico, so it's not a big deal. It's this vitamin C drink. You know, I just carry them because sometimes I'm on a bus, you know, and I want something besides water. You can mix this in it, or I carry this little bag it's got stevia in it for sweetening the coffee, but I also have these, now this Wilder's pink iced tea, peach iced tea. You cannot find this in Mexico, or at least I haven't. I love this stuff, and you know, you can mix up put it in a bottle of water, and it's great. So there's some drinking things. Oh, I forgot to, wait a minute, where is it? I had it here. Oh, here it is. I mentioned this, I think, earlier. Well, no, I think it's on the grocery shopping clip that you'll see probably after this one. This is my insulated water jug that I use. Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't you carry a water bottle or something? Well, water bottles are too easy to get. And usually I may save water bottles, so if I have a clean water source in my hotel room, which they sell the water by the filtered water by in 5-gallon jugs, and a lot of times in your Airbnb or your hotel room you'll have this 5-gallon jug of water. So I'll put, you know, I can get a water, if I have a water bottle that I've saved from, you know, walking around in town where I've left, I may carry that with me and fill it up before I leave, so I'll have something on the bus to drink. Otherwise I'll just stop somewhere and buy a bottle of water. No big deal. Here's something I carry. These are nuts. Now, these are particularly apricot seeds. You can't get them in Mexico. The only reason I carry them, well, I like peanuts a lot better. These are bitter as hell. I don't eat very many of them, but the reason I do carry them is because they have vitamin B17 in them, which you can't get with too many other foods. But you can get them in apricot seeds, and it's supposed to be a cancer preventative. You know, do your own research on that. If you got, there's a good video on YouTube by G. Edgar Griffin about the B17, and he's researched it extensively. He's actually, the documentaries and the books I've read of his are probably better research than many of the other things that you find on YouTube. But the other thing I like to carry is a microwavable bowl and a plate. I have them in Texas, and I forgot to put them in my luggage. So when I got down here, right now all I've got is a bowl that I bought at Walmart. This is I really like this bowl too. It's bamboo. I think I gave $4 for it. Usually eat my oatmeal in this. And then I got this cool little wooden spoon at the market in San Miguel. It's hand carved, and I paid $1.25 for it. I think it's 25 pesos. The other thing I've got with me is this pot for boiling rice. You know, you can also make soup, many other things in this. I think I'm going to switch this out when I go back to the States, because I've got one of these mess kits that have several bowls and a cup and utensils and all kinds of things, and they come in and they're much lighter than this thing. This thing's ceramic, and I think I don't know what's under the ceramic, but it's heavy. Right now it has I just pulled it out of the refrigerator. It's got my next meal in it. So that comes to some. So I'm going to trade that out for a mess kit because it's got more stuff in it and it's lighter. And it actually takes up less space in my bag than this thing. This thing's takes up a lot of cubic inches. The mess kit will take up a lot less, but the thing that I don't have that is probably handy to take with you when you're on the road is one of those gas-fired burners. Because there's one place in particular I go to in San Miguel. I don't have either a refrigerator or a place to cook, and it would be nice, instead of going out every meal, to cook up something to heat something up. And those things don't take much space at all. The little burner, maybe I'll put a link to one on Amazon. It's only about this big. I mean, it's tiny, and you can set a pot on top of it, boil water, cook rice, cook macaroni and cheese. I mean, a whole lot of things you can do with one of those. And of course, sometimes the reason I take a microwavable plate and bowl with me is because sometimes hotel rooms have a microwave, but they don't have a, you know, they don't have a stovetop. Well, there's a whole lot of stuff you can cook in a microwave. So that's about all I have on the if something else comes up that I've got in my bags that I missed here, I'll bring it up. And if you guys got any ideas of things that I ought to be carrying that I haven't thought of, there is one thing. There's one more thing I just thought of. This is a critical piece of gear right here. And I don't know, all the, you know, I've been watching a lot of these channels, these YouTube channels that have people that do camping on them and boondocking and bushcrafting. Hardly any of them talk about this. Bandanas are probably the most useful piece of equipment you can carry. I carry one every day with me. They make a great napkin. This is a pretty big one here. You can make a sack out of them. You know, you put your lunch in there, tie it up at the top. Best thing is, if you're in a hot environment, is you wet it down and put it around your neck. Or if you're in a windy, dusty environment, you put it around your face. You know, you wrap it around your head. You know, wet it and wrap it around your head. If you forgot your hat, I have a boonie cap that I travel with, and I might put that in a gear video one day. But boonie cap, you know, has the nice thing about it. It gives you sun protection all the way around your head. You can collapse it real small like this. It doesn't take up much space. You know, you can wet it down and it'll cool your head off if it's hot. If it's windy, it's got a drawstring on it that you can cinch up. So that's a pretty good piece of gear, as opposed to like a baseball cap that most people wear. I really prefer the boonie cap when I'm traveling. So this is kind of a piece of cooking gear, because you can clean up with it. You know, use it as a napkin, like I said. You can put it on your lap and make it as like a tablecloth at your, you know, if you don't have a table at your, you know, wherever you're staying, put it on the floor and use it as a tablecloth. Just hundreds of uses for this thing. I don't think somebody really ought to do a video on the uses for a bandana. If you know of one that's out there that's a pretty good one, let me know and I'll post it in the comments on this one or the next one. So that's all there is for this little segment, and I'm going to follow it up probably, I don't know, maybe with the I'll have to get, I don't know, I'm not going to commit to it yet, because I've got this new editing software that I need to learn how to use, and I want to see how it flows together. So anyway, thanks for watching, and don't punch the button yet, because there's another video coming, another clip coming up to this video, another segment. Because I'm tramping, I don't have any transportation, and the store is probably about a quarter of a mile away. Soriano here in Costa Azul, Mexico. So what I have to do is, you know, if I'm bringing back a whole lot of items, I carry my backpack, and this is a pack that I've been tramping with for a long time. It's a pretty good pack. I think I only gave 20 bucks for it, but I really like carrying it. It's always one of my carry-on bags when I fly, because I usually stuff all my video gear in here, sometimes my laptop, and things that are relatively expensive that you don't want the luggage handlers going through, you know, the TSA, and then when you get to Mexico, who knows what they do in Mexico. So anyway, I carry this backpack, and it's been really good. It's just one of these drawstring kind of rucksack things that you can fill up. This thing will carry a hold of an entire case of beer plus some. It's got a back pocket, and I've just put kind of incidental stuff in there. Like right now, I think I got some paracord and yeah, some line. It's got two side packs. This one of these I have a insulated. I have an insulated coffee mug. I guess it's a real tall one that I slip down in there, stainless steel, and then I usually slip something inside the mug itself. And then there's another side that I can put a camera tripod in, or a couple of. Actually, I've got two that'll fit in here pretty good. I did have a blowout on this thing because it's had so much use right here. It was on the right strap. This little binding right here came loose, and I was in San Miguel when it happened, and this artist friend of mine told me of a shoemaker or a shoe repairman that could stitch it back up, and he did an excellent job. It took about, you know, maybe 10 minutes, and he used some extra heavy, I think it's probably nylon thread, and he actually reinforced this other side too. So I was real happy with that. And I'm gonna, it's also got a top pocket on the top, and I put notebooks and things like that. Sometimes if I'm reading a book, I'll have it in the top. But this is great for going to the grocery store and filling it up with groceries. When I get back, I'll do a little video clip of what I got at the store, so you can get an idea of how well it works. Oh, besides the shoulder straps, it does have a waist strap, which I rarely use, but that's probably why the shoulder strap blew out on me, because it, you know, it's maybe not meant to carry as much weight as I abuse it with, especially carrying around a case of beer. But usually I only get a 12 pack, but it'll hold a 12 pack of bottles nicely in here. Even more cans. I think if I bought cans, I could probably carry more, maybe a case and a half in here. So that's my backpack. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got a pack. Let's see, turn this way. I got a pack full of food. Well, not food. There's half of it's beer, and I use the gut strap here, and it works pretty good, but it doesn't really. I don't feel like it really transfers the weight on my hips like it should. I mean, it transfers some of it on the back of my pelvis, but I think it should. If the pack was a little bit lower, it would work better. But I don't have much slack in these straps as it is. So, but hey, for $20, it's a great Tramp pack. Okay. I'm not going to complain. So let me show you what I got here in a minute. I've got to go meet a guy downstairs, but I'll resume this little clip here when I get back. Okay, I'm back. I actually did not go downstairs yet. The guy hadn't texted me, so I'll go ahead and unpack this backpack. Show you what I got on this little run, foot run to the store. It's about a quarter of a mile and back. Not too bad for a tramper. Bananas, platanos, is that how you say it, Spanish? Some snacks, peanuts, miseria, I think. Some foil, I'll talk about that maybe later or in another video. Say this is for tortillas. I'll go ahead and talk about it, for tortillas. Now, I didn't bring any cooking gear with me. I'm thinking about making that kind of a, what people call EDC, everyday carry, for my tramping gear. And the reason is that, for example, here in this apartment, there is no way to heat up tortillas. We have no microwave, and we have no oven. So all we got is like a single burner. So I can wrap the tortillas up in this foil and kind of heat them up. I have to flip them a bunch, but they will get hot in the foil. And I'll talk about the cooking thing later, but usually when I'm tramping of late, I've been going out to eat a lot. And in Mexico it's so cheap, it's hardly even worth buying groceries and then preparing the food yourself. But I've done that a little bit here at this apartment, and I'll talk about that in another video. But it would be nice if I had maybe one of those gas burner stoves that the campers use, if I had that in my gear with me, because a lot of times I'll be staying at a Airbnb that's just a bedroom and a bath and no kitchen, and so if I want to heat something up, it'd be nice to have that. Anyway, so I got some crackers. How do you say it in Spanish? I forget. My vocabulary, I mean, it's hard to learn much more of a language when you get to be 65 years old, but I'm trying. Okay, the big item is the beer, and because of Christmas and New Year's, my favorite beer has been bought out here in Acapulco, and that is bottles of Victoria. Well, at the Soriano anyway. They had the small bottles, the 210 milliliter bottles. Why even open up one of those? That's just a sip. So I got the 355 milliliter bottles of Dos Equis, and it fits in my pack perfectly. I could have got another one. Oh, what's this? Oh, I forgot queso for the crackers. I also have, from a previous haul, some mole here in the apartment, and that with cheese is really good stuff on a cracker. I may show you that later. So these two clips I'm probably going to string together with a couple other clips about eating on the road when you're tramping. I think I made one yesterday about you can buy a chicken here, a whole cooked chicken for 100 pesos with some other stuff. It comes with other stuff, so what a bargain.